Here's Tyler from ALLTRAC. Just want to do a quick video about operating the ALLTRAC AT-250 with the electronic display. So first thing you want to do is get up into the machine, turn the key on. That fires up the ECUs. All right. Turn off the radio here. Okay, so once this fires up, you see on the screen we have various data that's shown on the display. So I'm just going to go over some of the symbols first and kind of show you what they all do. So this one here on the far right hand side, this is how you set cruise control. So once you're actually operating the machine, you push the stick or release the brake and you drive the stick forward. You need to be past 800 RPM. You can press this button and it'll basically, the machine will drive itself. You'll be able to steer it with just moving the joystick left to right. If you want to cancel cruise control, you just pull back on the joystick and the cruise will be canceled. You'll be back to coming to a stop. This button here, this is your video inputs. So there's a couple different video displays on this machine, video 1, video 2. This little indicator here in the center, that shows you if you're in park or if you're in first. So if you are in the seat, you can press this park release button here. I guess the engine has to be running. You have to be running the engine. If it's running, it'll release the brakes. Maybe I'll do that here, start it up. So with the engine running, you'll be able to press this park button. It'll release the brake. I'll show you there, it's green. And also the track symbol here has been released. Okay, so if you wait 10 seconds, basically if the computer doesn't see any kind of input within 10 seconds, it'll re-engage the brake, a safety feature. Going across here, you have the alarm, so that's the audible alarm. So if you have an alarm for high temp or something like that, it'll start to warn you. If you acknowledge that the alarm is there but you're tired of hearing it, you can press that button and it'll stop beeping at you but still flash on the screen. This indicator here tells you whether or not you're in the seat, so there's an operator seat switch in it. If I come out of the seat, you'll see here after a certain period of time that'll go out. I'm telling you there's no weight in the seat. As soon as I come back into the seat, it shows you now if there is a weight in the seat, then you'll be able to release the brake. So if the engine's not running, you have any kind of input on the joystick, or you're not sitting in the seat, it won't allow you to release the brake. This button here on the left hand side, this 360, so what that does is it enables a separate drive mode, which will allow you to counter rotate the tracks. When the machine is in typical or standard drive mode, you can't counter rotate or do a zero turn. So this makes the machine a lot less sensitive for driving, a lot more intuitive for driving. But if you are in a tight area and you need to make a tight turn or turn on its own axis, then you can engage this 360-degree mode and that'll allow you to do that. So standard stuff, battery voltage, oil pressure. This little symbol here shows you the amount of torque that the engine's using. So right now you can see it's using 7% of the available torque just idling. If you're using the machine, of course that torque level will go up and down depending what you're doing. It is handy to keep an eye on, and it just doesn't know what kind of load you're actually putting the engine under. If you're at a low RPM and you're seeing that torque percentage getting too high, then it's a good idea to speed the engine up. You probably get a little more power for what you're doing. Obviously engine temperature. So we also show ambient temperature outside, as well as the temperature inside the cab. This is your angle sensor. Shows you pitch and roll. So depending on, there are some, if you exceed basically the rating of the machine for pitch and roll, it will actually cut back the control, force you to bring yourself back to a suitable pitch and angle, and then it'll allow you to go back to full control. So here, obviously fuel level, and then this is your depth level. Here you'll see trim percentage and speed limit. So here in this screen here, so if you find the machine is driving one way or the other, or it's pulling to one side, you can actually adjust the trim. So by adjusting that trim percent, it's gonna straighten the machine out. So as you're driving the machine straight, you find it's pulling to one side, you can just turn the direction that you need to correct, and then the machine should drive straight. So if you're on a side hill and you find it's pulling to one side, you can adjust the trim. Or if you find that, you know, perhaps the machine is always wanting to pull to one side, you can adjust this trim and it'll actually save that percentage in the computer. So the next time you start it's already at that trim. You don't need to adjust it again. Then here's speed limit. So depending on what you're doing, you may find that speed limits, you know, you may want to run the engine at a higher RPM, but you don't want to go fast. So you can basically turn down that speed limit all the way down to 20%, and that'll allow it so you can run the engine at a higher RPM, but still just run the joystick all the way forward. Or like say if you're spraying and you want to go at a certain speed, you can drive that speed limit down, which will allow you just to get less track speed while still using full engine RPM. So this little setup here, so for releasing the brake and everything, so this pretty well controls everything you need to control for driving the actual unit. So we already went over this. This is a park brake release. This one is actually high speed, so if the park brakes are released, you can press the rabbit and that'll actually shift you into second gear. So second gear is twice the speed but half the torque. Really, this is really used best for if you're traveling kind of long distance on a road or something like that. If you're in the field actually working, you'll find generally you know, speed 1 work speed is going to be more than suitable for what you need. This will allow you to get up to, you know, around 12 miles an hour though if you need to get somewhere fast. So engine RPM, press the button here to adjust RPM. Twist it however you want, you can adjust your RPM. Once you press that button, it'll stay illuminated green for about 5 seconds. Then it'll go out. Now it doesn't work again, you got to press that button again. And that's so you can do various things as you go. Our little trick, if you actually press and hold this button, so press and hold, it'll go all the way up to rated RPM. 2200, press and hold again. It'll actually go back down to idle. So then yeah, you also have your horn over here, as well as the camera feed. So you can select the camera feed on the screen, or you can select it right here. Press it again, it'll cycle through the next camera. Press again and bring it back to the main menu. The camera will also come on as soon as you go in reverse. So if I go in reverse right now, that camera comes on. Aside from that, over here you have your standard lights, switches. So you'll see they turn green when they're working, red when they're off. If they fault, you'll see they'll actually fault red and they'll turn back to red. This button here, you can dim the whole setup for nighttime. If the vehicle is equipped with a sprayer, that's where you get the option here for the sprayers. This turns on the sprayer itself. These buttons here control the wings, so deploying the wings, wings up on the left side, wings up on the right side, wings deploy, and then also if you press and hold or press this button, it allows you to lift and lower the boom completely. So using these first two buttons here, if I was to press this button, I could lift the whole boom up. Then pressing this button, I lower the boom. Turning that off again, you'll be able to run the controls. One thing of note is when you do have the pump running, you won't be able to adjust your lift and lower the boom or adjust the height. So you need to turn off the pump before you can do that. That's pretty much it, I guess, for the controls of the AT-250. So it's basically controlled with this single joystick. You'll find it very intuitive, very similar to if you've ever run any kind of skid steer or anything with the ISO controls. It'll feel very similar to that, with the added benefit of our cruise control feature, as well as the 2 separate drive modes. So any questions, feel free to reach out.